Hi, my name's Grace Rogers, and my sobriety date is August 25th, 2015. So that brings me to a little over 5.5 years of continuous sobriety. My drug of choice is alcohol. And I grew up in Newport Beach, California, and had an amazing childhood, just an incredible family. Really didn't need or want for anything. There was no major trauma. We traveled all over and loved life. I then was fortunate enough to go on to college, and straight from there was at the right place at the right time and got the most amazing job ever, where I ended up being the vice president of marketing for Roxy Quicksilver. So I was a part of the whole action sports industry. I was traveling the entire world. I mean, you name it, I got to go there for work. And so in my 20s, that was amazing. And I did not have a drinking problem then. In fact, I was the one that was actually taking care of everybody that was drinking, and I was the one planning all the parties and all of that. And so life was great. I mean, you could not have had a more amazing life. That brings me into my 30s. And around 34, 35 is when I look back and I noticed the drinking changed a bit. I was working at a company called Burton Snowboard Company and had created a fashion brand for them. And I was flying across the country every week, back and forth, back and forth. And not only was my biological clock ticking, I was just kind of, I think, feeling like I needed more of a foundation and a home and to be in one place more. So the first thing I noticed is that I knew the bartenders' names on the way to Burlington, Vermont and back. And I think that's probably not extremely normal. At the time, I thought it was great. But now looking back, I think that's probably not what most people remember about an airport. So from there, I ended up getting a DUI and ended up in a marriage that was a little toxic, to say the least. And so I allowed myself to get extremely brainwashed. And also at the time, I really looked to the bottle to escape any form of verbal and mental abuse that was coming my way. And so that escalated the drinking a lot. From there, we were married in 2008, and I ended up getting pregnant and I stayed sober during the whole pregnancy and during nursing and all of that. But the minute I stopped nursing, I went straight back to the bottle, and this is in 2010. From there, I decided, I had a revelation one day, and I decided I did not want my son, who was almost 1, to grow up in an abusive atmosphere and end up having those same tendencies towards women, etc. And the other thing was, I knew I did not want to be a drunk mom. So I had that moment of clarity, and I called the place, and I was kind of not AA driven at the time, because I had been told by my husband that AA was a cult, and he didn't like AA because he didn't want anybody to be able to talk to me without him being involved in the conversation. So AA in my mind had a little bit of a bad taste. So I found a place that was not AA driven, went there, and the thing they said to me first was, you have to get out of this marriage or you will never be sober. We've seen this scenario so many times where, my husband literally would say, like, you're a drunk, you're an alcoholic, but you can have one drink. I know you so well, you can do it. And so it created this cycle of me drinking, him being the hero, kind of. He liked when I was drinking because I felt horrible about myself. I had no self-esteem. So I went from this woman who traveled the world independently, ran huge, companies, and then I all of a sudden was this little broken bird who didn't know themselves, who thought I was just horrible piece of crap, barely would talk, and I'm an extremely social, happy person. So it was I look back and it is unbelievable how in just a short amount of time between the alcohol and the mental and verbal abuse, I became this meek, down, sad person. So this place said, you need to make that change first and foremost. And I said, hallelujah, thank you. I just needed someone to support that decision, because at this point, allowing myself to be brainwashed for so long, I was scared, really scared. And I was scared of what he might do if I, got the divorce, etc. So I went that route and got sober, got separated and divorced. and I had no program. So I stayed sober for 5 years, ended up getting another amazing job, was like super mom, just, living life. And suddenly in the summer of 2015, I find myself on a date with a glass of wine in front of me, and I didn't think twice. I just took a couple sips and went home that night and thought, oh my God, this is the coolest thing ever. I am not an alcoholic. I didn't even finish the glass, and life is awesome. It was totally the marriage. I'm great. So I found out within a week that was absolutely the farthest thing from the truth. I was a full-blown alcoholic and bottled vodka within a week. It was so terrifying to me that I knew I was an alcoholic at that point. And I had another moment of clarity where, in a drunken stupor with a bottle of vodka and my son, who was 5, and his friend in my care, and I looked at them both and I just started crying, and I made some phone calls and said, I need help. I need to go somewhere. I've been drinking. The kids are here. Someone come. And that started my trajectory into sobriety. Immediately, someone came and got the kids, and I went off to a rehab, which this time actually promoted AA. And I had said, I won't have a sponsor. I won't do any of that stuff. Well, the minute I got there, I wanted this so badly that I was an absolute sponge. If they had said, clean the toilets, it'll keep you sober, I would have done it. I'm not kidding. So I was in that program and I played it out until the end. It was almost like a 4-month thing. And I still came home and was mom, because I wanted to make sure I knew how to do sobriety in real life and be a mom and deal with all the stuff that comes with that. So I did that for the 4 months, and I have never looked back. I stayed completely involved in the community. I volunteer at a lot of different rehab places, especially ones directed to women and moms, and share my story that way and just, be of service. I find that that's one of the most remarkable things about this program, is being of service to other people and getting out of yourself. And my life today is phenomenal. Like, I have never been just so joyous and happy. I'm not making nearly the amount of money I used to make, but it was a conscious choice of just being present for my son, being sober, and loving the little things in life. People, I have friends that are normies, whatever. I really don't like that word, but they say to me all the time, what are you doing? Why are you so genuinely joyous? Like, we don't get it. And I say, well, there's this little program called AA, or, or maybe you could try Al-Anon, or, but when you do those steps and your life changes, people notice, and it's infectious. And I am so grateful for my sobriety every day. I do my gratitude lists and try and help someone else. And my son has flourished from it. Like, our relationship is just bar none the most special relationship ever. So if I could share just one piece of advice or encouragement, I would say to watch the people who've come before you. Find someone who's smiling and joyous and loving their recovery life, and watch what they do. Either latch onto them, ask for their number, just start your own little community of friends in sobriety and stick with them. Don't ever leave them, stick together. I think that's what keeps people in sobriety and in recovery for the long haul, is just having that group of friends and balance in life. If any of you are out there and you're in a toxic relationship and you're just not able to really be who you were put on this earth to be, it's scary to take a step out of that relationship, but find those people around you that will support you. Find your village and do it. And once you do it, you'll walk through those scary little baby steps. Or for me, there was a lot of bullying afterwards and I was scared, but each day it got better and I got stronger. And what you'll find when you take that step is the respect you have for yourself and the love you end up having for yourself will be noticed by your children, by your family, and mainly by yourself. And you will be able to do great things.